Most people have failed in life or have not fulfilled their destinies, not because they failed a test. Some people, you see, they have not fulfilled their destinies, not because they failed a test, not because they yielded into temptation, but because they refused to remain in the wilderness. A man or a woman with a great destiny might not fulfill his or her destiny, not because he yielded into temptation or she failed a test. That's why she did not make it in life. No. Most people have failed not fulfilling their destinies because they refuse to remain in the wilderness. A man might have a destiny to be a musician or a basketballer, even a minister or a governor. A woman might have a destiny to be a musician, but they will end up not doing their destiny, not fulfilling, not because they yielded it to temptation or they failed the test, no, but because they refuse to remain in the wilderness. That's why you see most people, they are where they are. In the book of Luke chapter 4, verse 1 to 15, Jesus was led by the Spirit of God into the wilderness to be tempted. For 40 days and 40 nights he was tempted by the devil. After the 10th day, the 11th day, the 12th day, Jesus was still in the wilderness. Jesus did not leave the wilderness. After the 15th day, the 20th day, Jesus was still in the wilderness. When Satan came and tempted him, Jesus was in the wilderness. When Satan came again to tempt him, Jesus was still in the wilderness. So, there are people who have abandoned their destinies because the time that God gave for them to be tempted by the devil or for them to be tested was not completed. Maybe God might give 100 days for you to be tested, for you to be tempted, and you're supposed to show your faith in Christ Jesus. After 50 days, you withdraw from the wilderness. They will ask you, you will say, I want to be a musician, I want to be a basketballer, I want to be a volleyballer, I want to be a handballer, I want to be a minister. But since I've been following a career in music, they have tempted me, they have tested me. They want me to join occultism, they want me to join a bad group, a fraternity, but I refused. So your life is still the same. It's like nothing is happening. You are still being tested, you are still being tempted by the devil. After 60, 70 days, you are still tempted. That is when most people, they are in the wilderness, they are being tempted, but they will withdraw. They will tell you, since I've been struggling to be a musician, I've been following a career in music, I've always been tempted to join a cult, or to join a fraternity, or to join a bad group. So a woman might be destined to be a singer, she sings so well, and she's been tempted to play the role of a prostitute. She's been tempted to be a lesbian. A man might be tempted to be a homosexual in order to achieve his destiny. But it might be 70 days, it might be 80 days, they are still being tempted, and their life, there is no result. They don't see any result. They see that the only way to succeed in their destiny is to join the fraternity. So most of them will withdraw. They will withdraw. They will no longer follow the career again in music, in basketball, in volleyball. They will abandon. They will tell you, I was following a career in that, but I got to a point where I had to abandon because I was tested and tempted to join a fraternity, to join a group, a bad group, or play the role of a prostitute, or even be a prostitute, be a lesbian, be a homosexual. So I had to give up. They were not supposed to give up. They were supposed to remain faithful in Christ and keep passing their temptation, because even Jesus in the wilderness had to be tempted for 40 days. So after the 20th days, Jesus did not withdraw from the wilderness. Jesus remained in the wilderness. So you are supposed to remain in the wilderness and pass your temptation, complete all. There is always a final temptation, and Satan will leave you alone. If you are destined to be a musician, a basketballer, a volleyballer, be ready. Know that temptations are on the way, but you have to pass all the tests. You have to make sure that you don't yield to any of the temptation and pass it all. and then you will get into your destiny. That's why I see some people, they might be following a career for 10 years. At the 9th year, things start changing. The 10th year, they tell you he is the minister of this. She is the one that sang this song. He is the one that sang this song. He is the one that made this application. But he knows that he has been on that journey for 10 years and he has been tempted yearly. Especially the drugs industry, the medicines. If you want to have a pharmacy, they will tell you, you must accept this satanic symbol. You must do this, you must do that. But if you refuse, you remain in the wilderness. As long as it's the destiny God has given to you, He has a way out for you. Remain in the wilderness. No matter how the temptation is, the degree of it is so high, remain in the wilderness and trust God. God who made you to be a politician, a musician, a basketballer, He knows why. And He has created time for you to fulfill that destiny. All you need to do is remain in the wilderness. Don't give up. Don't leave the wilderness until the temptation is over. And then you will be whatever God destined you to be. Remain in the wilderness.